Hello everyone, it's Amy and welcome back for our Journaling on a Budget series. And today I'm going to make a folded pocket. We used to make these a long time ago as cards, and I just saw G. Kerr make one to put in her journals. And I thought, wow, what a great idea. So I thought that we would do that because I've made a couple and I really like them. And I want to put some in my faith journal that I'm working on. And so I thought that I would show you how she did it. And so what you're going to do is just start out with a regular piece of copy paper. And then you're going to want to cut a square 8.5 by 8.5. Or if you're from another country and, your size, because I know that your letter size paper is not the same as ours, all you need is a square. So we're just going to cut our legal size paper, or our letter size paper, into a square, and we're going to keep the extra piece. And this is just a tea-dyed piece that I put a little bit of background stamping on. And this background stamping that I've done on here is a stamp that I made. I've been trying to figure out how to make like a script stamp because I love the script stamps. And so I've kind of come up with this, and I will show you that in another video, how to do those. It's as close as I've got so far. So we're going to fold our paper in half. And then we're going to fold it in half again, the other way, so that now we have 4 equal squares. You can do this with any size square paper, so you can do it small. Back when we used to make cards this way, we used to use a 12 by 12, and you'd wind up with a 6 by 6 card. So, and then what you're going to do is you're just going to cut along one of the lines to the center. Just right to the center and stop right there. And so then you're going to have something that looks like this, 2 of the squares over here and 2 of the squares over here. And what this now will do is it will fold this way, and then it will fold this way, and then it will fold this way. And now this is what you have, and this is what you're going to be able to put in your book, and then it'll unfold and unfold and unfold. So, and then, we used to decorate them when we did cards, but G did them with pockets, and she used her extra piece of paper, and she just folded it in half and used that to make the pockets. So other than a little bit of decorating on the front, you can do the whole thing with just one piece of paper. I like to tear my pockets because I really like that kind of rough edge. And then ink all the way around them. So, but you just, once you've got that half of a piece, you're just going to go ahead and decide. I don't make my pockets go exactly all the way to the outside edge. I just find that a little bit easier. So I'm going to just rip this here. And then I'm going to take this one and take a little bit. I'll cut the other end. It'll make it quicker than ripping it. So there, now we've got 2 pockets. Okay, and then with the pockets, the way you're going to lay them out is one here and then one here. What's going to happen now when you fold this is going to be on the bottom. This is going to be here on the left side. And then the other 2 are going to be here and here. So that way, when you fold it up, you've got a pocket here. So when you fold it in, that's at the bottom. This is on the left. Now this one is going to be on the top, and this one will be on the bottom. And then the other one is here, and this one will be here. So all of the pockets, you will wind up having a pocket like this on the inside, and that will help with your bulk. And I think G laid hers out just a little bit differently, but she did 2 up and down and 2 across, but I lay mine out that way because that way you wind up not having as much bulk. And I've got one here, so what you're going to do is just use your little template for your corner rounder. And then what I did was I just folded mine, in its folded state. Don't cut this center point at all. But then I just used my little corner rounder here, and I just went around and I rounded the other 3 corners. And I will do this kind of quick, and then if I have to, I can touch it up later. Now also, because I just cut my paper by hand, I didn't use my trimmer or anything, it's a little bit off here. So I'm just going to, before I go any further, I'm just going to trim this little bit straight. There we go. And then do these other two corners, remembering to leave that center piece. You don't want to cut a hole in the center. Yeah. There we go. And the last one is right here. And then also I do round the bottom corners of my pockets, but I leave the top corners straight. And that's just the way that I do it, you know, so you can do this any way that you wish. So now what we have looks like this. And your corners are rounded, and they're rounded here. If you can see, they're rounded there, and I really like how that looks with those rounded corners. It really gives you the separation of pages. Then ink all of your edges, both sides, along the lines and everything. Ink all of your pockets, and I've got one that's really pretty started here because I don't want this to take forever. So here it is. I've inked the whole thing. Do a little background stamping. I do my background stamping before I even start cutting anything out. But, you know, just over the whole thing. And then again, like I said, I've glued down already one of my pockets here. And I do round the pockets on the bottom and leave them straight on the top. So there's one here, one here. The next one's going to go here. And I just wanted to show you how I stamp. I like to do the back. I like to have the stamp with the background stamp there. But I don't want the background stamp interfering with my focal point stamp. So I did have another pocket here. Oh, really? Here it is. Oh, and I haven't rounded my, I'm going to just do this quick by hand. So there we go. And then I'm going to edge it because we don't want it to be white. And we want to edge it with our edging stamps that I've lost. Here we go. So I'm just using Distress inks, but you can use any inks that you have. If you don't have any inks, in the Build Your Stash and Craft series, I do have a thing on there, how to make your own inks. And they work really well. So you don't always have to, you don't have to have the same things everyone else uses to get the same look. Okay, so I've edged my pocket, and now I want to stamp it. And I've got a stamp that says Peace. And I want to stamp it in red, but I don't want my backgrounds to be underneath of it. And then when I stamp the background, I don't want that to be on top. So I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to stamp Peace on here. And then what I've done is I have stamped Peace on another piece of paper and just cut around it. And you just use that as a mask. So remember, do your focal point first, then just cut out the shape of your focal point, just set it on top of there, and then go ahead and put your background stamp on. Let's see, did I do those all straight? Nope, I just did them however. Okay, there we go. And so now this is what it looks like, and now the piece is not covered up with the background stamp, and it's not on top of the background stamp. It's got its own area. So I like the way that works. And then actually, these look really cool to put in your projects too. So don't throw those away. And then just glue this right down here. And you can use whatever type of glue you have. I have noticed a lot of the journalers are using the Fabri-Tac, the Beacon Fabri-Tac, and I must admit it does work really well. But it's not cheap. So if you can't afford it, up until just very recently, like within the last week or so, I always used tacky glue for everything. So it just takes a little while to dry. I either used tacky glue or I used glue stick. So you don't have to have this. And if you do decide you want to get some, wait until your craft store has a sale, and then go ahead and get it that way. Because then you can get 40% off, and then it's not as bad. And then I pick and choose what I use it on. So there we go. Now this is what it looks like so far. So it folds in this way, and it folds in this way, and it folds in this way. And then the last thing to do is just put a pocket on the front and decorate your pocket. And when you're all done, you'll have one that looks like the one I've already finished. And now I don't see it here. Oh my goodness, was not ready for this morning. But I knew that I had to get it done before Papa got up because, well, oh, here it is. So here's one that's already completed. So I just put a little piece of fabric right here and just tied a little bow with some organza that I also put on my tags, and put a little button in the middle. And there we go. So you've got a tag on the front. I'm going to set this one aside here. You have a tag on the front, and then when you open it up, you've got a tag here and here and here and here. So now I did, I believe that I changed this one around as far as where I did. So on this one I did my pockets at the bottom on the side, and at the bottom and on the side. And this one, they're opposites like this, these two. But when you do that, this one is here, then you fold it over, so it's right here. When you fold it up, those two are on top of each other. So I didn't want to do it that way because that put my tags in the same spot. So that's why I changed it to this, so that this one is here, this one is here. So we've got bottom, we've got this side, now we've got bottom and top, this side and this side, so that none of them are overlapping. So anyways, that's how you make this pocket. Is just so easy to do. And go check out G. Kerr's channel because she does a lot of things, and she just has some really good tutorials. So thank you very much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. And I hope that you all have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.